All right, everyone. I think I'm going to start now. Okay, for today's topic, we'll learn about the VBA in Excel. VBA stands for uh, Visual Basic for Applications. Okay. Actually, VBA is not restricted to Excel only. We also have a VBA for Word and also PowerPoint. But we're going to learn the VBA for Excel only. VBA is an object-oriented language. Okay, so I think the object-oriented concepts that we learned in the Python is going to be applied here also. Okay, before that, why do we need VBA in the first place? Okay, well, this is because sometimes, okay, you might do something that is repetitive, and VBA, if you caught your actions in VBA, then you can avoid those repetition easily. Okay? For example, one thing that I always do is inserting bullets like this. Okay, so we have I have some cells like this, so I want to insert bullets. If I want to insert bullets, okay, I will have to go to the insert tab, okay, and then go to the symbols here and find the bullet from here. Okay, so I find the bullet here, and then I insert it. Well, of course, this is not really a difficult action to do, but if you imagine that every time you want to insert bullets like this, then you always have to do this. Okay, so it is easier if you just write a VBA code to achieve this. Okay, all right. Each object has properties and methods. Okay, so the properties are the attributes of an object. For example, a name, okay, a name of cell, or color of cell. Okay, and the methods is the behavior. Okay, so all these methods that we are going to use is to change the color, okay, or to change the whether a cell is protected or not. Okay. Now to get a property or an object, okay, we use the dot notation. Okay, so this is the object, and then you put the dot, and then you access the property, and the same for the method also. Okay, object, and then dot, and then the name of the method. Okay, so for example, range A1 dot value. Okay, this is going to access the value property of the cell A1, and then range A1 dot select. This is going to cell A1. Before we start for VBA, it is important that you understand the object hierarchy. Okay? So here, this is like a map that shows how the objects are related to each other. Okay, so at the top here is the Excel application. So this means the whole thing about Excel. Okay, under Excel application, we have some child. Okay, so this is the parent for these three childs. Okay, so under Excel application, we have the workbooks, command bars, and ribbons. Okay, command bars are the things that you see in the menu here. Okay, or when you right click. Okay, so this is a command bar. Okay, there are many types of command bar in Excel, and the ribbon is the ribbon part. Okay, and in here, our workbook is a subcategory of the Excel application. Okay, and then under workbook, we also have a worksheet. Okay, and then VBA projects, and under worksheet we have shapes, ranges, pivot tables, and chart objects. Okay, we won't be working with all these objects. Okay, mainly we'll be working with workbooks, and then worksheets, and then ranges. Okay, all right. Now, okay, so you can go to here this link and find out more information about VBA macros. Okay, so here we have two types of coding style. Okay, so this is the fully qualified code, and then this is the simplified code. Okay, so what's the difference? Well, in here we have if you code your program like this, okay, you start the application and then dot workbooks, because workbook is under application. Okay, and then you go to worksheet. Okay, worksheet is under workbooks, and then you select the range. This is a cell A1, then dot value. Okay, this is the full code. Okay, which means that you specify, okay, the current active application, and then you specify that this is the workbook, book one, okay, and then worksheet, sheet one, and then range A1 dot value. Whereas this simplified code, then range one A1 dot value, okay. In here, the assumption is that you assume you are referring to cell A1 for the current active workbook and the current active worksheet, okay. So here you see the dot or periods between each word allows us to reference the members of the hierarchy from top to bottom. Okay? So application is at the top of the hierarchy, and then followed by the workbooks, okay? And then followed by the worksheets, and then followed by the range. So the application is the top level of the hierarchy, and the workbook is a member of the application. Okay? And the workbooks property returns a collection of all open workbooks on the computer. Okay, so here this part, okay, this part is a collection of all workbooks, okay, and then from that collection, okay, you specify you want to refer to book one, okay, and then the worksheets property also return a collection of all the worksheets, okay, so this part refers to the collection of all worksheets, and from those worksheets, you specify that you want to refer to sheet one, okay, then specifying the worksheet name sheet one in the worksheet body, we return a worksheet object. Okay? So this part returns one single worksheet object, and this part returns the whole worksheet collection. Okay? And if you use a simplified code, okay, like I said earlier, you're assuming that you're accessing the cell A1, okay, from the current active workbook and the current active worksheet. Okay, so here if you open a new workbook, okay, so this is the workbook that is current active, because this is the workbook that I'm accessing now. Okay, if I switch to a different workbook, now this is the current active workbook. Okay, and then if you have many worksheets open, okay, but now the current active one, it will be sheet 3. Okay, you cannot see that. Let me see. Okay, so here, okay, so here, this is the current active workbook. Okay, I open a new workbook because this is the workbook that I'm accessing now. Okay, if I switch to a different workbook, then this will be the current active workbook. And then if you have many worksheets, okay, so the worksheet that you are accessing now is the current active worksheet. Okay, if I switch to a different, this is the current active worksheet. Okay. So in here, assumptions can get you in trouble and cause errors because, for example, if you open the workbook and run the macro located on this workbook, so in here, when you create a macro, you can select on which workbook you want to run the macro. Okay, but in general, if another workbook is open, okay, you can also run the macro on that workbook also. Okay, so for example, in here, now I have this workbook 11.1. Okay, so now I created a macro in this workbook, but I can also run this macro in a different workbook, even though that the macro that I created is not in this workbook. As long as I keep the macro, I keep the workbook that has the macro open. Okay, so in here, let's say I create the macro called macro one. Okay, macro one in this workbook. So after, as long as I keep this workbook open, I can run this macro on a different workbook. Okay, even though that this macro one is not in that workbook. All right. So if the new workbook is the current active workbook, okay, then the macro will run on the workbook, even though that is not something that you want. Okay. All right. So be careful with that. Now let's look at some shortcuts. Okay. Actually, this one is for the VB editor, okay, Visual Basic Editor. So to open up the Visual Basic Editor, you need to go to the Developer tab. Okay. Okay. And here, if you don't have this tab enabled, you have to customize the ribbon first. Okay? So go anywhere in the ribbon and customize it. Right? Click and customize it. So here, this part should be enabled. Okay? For mine, it's already enabled. I mean, for yours, it's probably not enabled. So you just check the checkbox and click OK. Okay. So now the developer tab will show up. Okay. So here, if you want to see the Visual Basic Editor, you just click this. Okay. Or alternatively, the shortcut is alternate F11. Okay. All right. So this is how this is how the Visual Basic Editor looks like. Okay. So here I have some macro recorded already. Okay. So this part is the VBA project. Okay. So you just open the workbook from here. I mean, you open the macro for that workbook. Okay. So now we are in 11.1, Introduction to Macros. Okay. So in here we don't have any module yet. So later we are going to create the module, and then we are going to put the vehicle in. In here I put some shortcuts. Okay. So the shortcut to indent the code is tab. Okay. Outdent is a shift tab. To complete the word is a control space. Okay. Open object browser is F2. Open code window is F7. I think the one that we are going to use a lot is either these two. Okay. And run. I think the others probably we don't use that a lot. Okay. All right. I think we can go to the first example now. Okay. Well, before you start coding in the VBA, okay, the macro recorder is some feature that is really helpful. Okay, because this is going to help you to generate the code without needing for you to write anything. Okay. So here, okay. So what I want you to do is, I want to record a macro. Okay, to fill in cells, cell D2. Okay, right here, in cell D2 with a yellow field. Okay. Now, okay, to record macro, there are several ways. Okay, one way is you go to the developer tab and click this one. Sorry, click this one. Okay, click this one, record macro. Or you can simply click the button at the bottom here. Okay, you can also find it here. Right, record macro is right here. Okay, so probably this part is faster because here you have to go to the, if you're on the home tab, you have to switch to the developer tab first and then click this. But this one is this button is always on the status bar. Okay. Now, if you want to record macro, so you just start by clicking this. Okay. So here you have a record macro window. Okay. They ask you to give a name to the macro. Okay. Give a shortcut key. This is optional, and where you want to put the macro in. Okay. Now this is very important. Okay, because it depends on how you want, where you want the macro to run. Okay. You see here, if you expand this, you see there's a personal macro book. Okay, new workbook, or this workbook. Okay, so if you pick this workbook, then the macro they created is going to be recorded in this workbook only. Okay, and of course, if you click new workbook, then the this is going to create a new workbook, and then the macro is going to be created in that workbook. All right, and then there's another option, which is the personal macro workbook. Okay, well, this is the option that you should choose if you want the macro to be run in all the workbook. Okay, because like I said earlier, if you have the macro, okay, if you have the macro in this workbook, all right, I have a macro, so I call it macro 1. Okay, if I record a macro in this workbook, I can still run this macro in a separate workbook, as long as I keep this workbook open. Okay, and sometimes you want to run a macro on all the workbooks. So in that case, you still need to keep this workbook open. So if you don't want to keep this workbook open, then you can select personal macro workbook, because this workbook is actually open all the time. Okay, this workbook is open all the time, but it's hidden. You cannot see it, but it's open all the time. But since the workbook is open all the time, then you can run the macro from this workbook to a different workbook. Okay. All right. Now let's record macro. Okay. That macro is very simple. Okay. I just want to fill in cell D2 with a light with yellow fill. Okay, this cell. All right. Now you just click somewhere here first. Okay. Don't select cell D2 yet. Okay. Now you start by selecting this, clicking this. Okay. Record macro. So here I just simply call it example 11 underscore 1 underscore 1. Okay. So this is like a function name. You cannot put any spaces. Okay. You cannot put any special character. Right. So you cannot put a dot here. So I just named it example 11 1 1 1. Okay. A. Because this is referring to the macro for this question. Okay. So make sure that you select this workbook instead of a personal macro book. Okay. And for shortcut key, I don't encourage you to put it. Okay. Because sometimes people, they just simply put the default shortcut like Control S. You know that Control S is for saving the workbook. Okay? And then if you put Control S, then it is going to override the default shortcut. And this is definitely not the behavior that you want in your workbook. Okay? And for most of the time, if you put a shortcut and later you just forget it. Okay. So later, if you want to run the macro easily, you can put a button. Okay, you can put a button in your worksheet, and then you just click associate that macro to that button, and then you just click the button, then the macro will run. Okay. So in general, I don't encourage you to put the shortcut in unless this is the macro that you want to run all the time. Okay, for different workbooks. All right. So now you just click OK. So you see here in the VBA editor, okay, if you go to your, you go to here, okay, you open up the module. So now you see the module shows up already. Okay, just now there's no module, and then here, okay, if you click this, now you see this is the name of the subroutine. Okay, so this is like a function, and then this is the name that I put in just now. Okay. So whatever action that you're doing in the worksheet will be recorded in here. Okay. So let me resize this and put it side by side. Okay. Okay. So here you see 2 lines is recorded already. Yeah? Because just now I think I moved the application to the left, and also I put the I think I scroll it. Okay. So action is not something that you want, you can just delete them. Okay. And if you click around here, okay, so you see once I click this, all my action is going to be recorded in the VBE editor. Okay, for the cell that's selected. Right. And then the cell that I really want to select is cell D2. Okay. So it's right here. So see, even if I scroll this, it is also recorded by the macro editor. Okay. So just delete them. Okay. Click cell D2. Okay. So now you see cell D2 is selected, and then I want to highlight it. Okay, with yellow like this. Okay. So you just click highlight, fill yellow. Okay. All right. Now you stop the recording. Okay. To stop the recording, you go down here. Okay. Go down here, then you can stop it. Okay. The same button. All right. It says that the macro is currently recording, and then you can click again to stop the recording. Okay. I have to stop it now. So now this is the code. Okay. This is the code that highlights the cell D2. Okay. Well, don't worry about this part yet. okay, because later we'll come back to here and understand what this do. Okay, but actually, most of these lines are not really needed. Okay, the one that you really need is the color. Okay, and then we have a width block and an end width block. Okay, the width block I will explain that in the I think next week. Okay, so what you really need is this part, selection dot interior dot color to this value. Okay, so now, okay, one thing about macro is that uh, if you run the macro, okay, this action cannot be undone. All right. Now in here, this when I color this cell in yellow, okay, this action is not done by the macro. Okay, I use the fill color here, so I can still undo this, okay. But if you run this, okay, so now I'm going to run it, right? So after I run this, then this cell D2 is going to be colored in yellow, and that action cannot be undone. Okay, so now you can run this. Okay, you click here to run, all right? Or the shortcut is F5. Okay, run it. Now you see cell D2 is colored in yellow. Okay, and then you cannot undo this. Okay, so if you click this, it is going to undo to here. This is the action that I do in previously when I delete this. Okay, if you go back here, this is still in yellow. Okay, so one thing you have to be careful about macro is that whatever macro they run, okay, that action cannot be undone. Okay? This is something that you need to be really careful. Okay, because you might the macro they created might delete something or delete some worksheet. Okay, or you might delete some data. Okay, and that action cannot be undone. All right, let us go back here. Okay, so in here, okay, this is the code generated by the macro editor. Okay, it says that you select cell D2, okay, and then do all this. And like I said earlier, actually the only part that matters is this part. Okay, so somehow you can also edit this part. Okay, I'm going to take out this selection dot interior. Okay, then dot color equals to this value. Okay, then all these are not needed. Okay, so the macro that colors the highlights color, the fill color, okay, that changes the fill color to this value is these two lines only. Okay, so here you can go back to your workbook. All right, go back to your workbook. Okay, and then if you remove the fill color, okay, and then run the macro, okay, run it. So now still see the cell D2 is colored. Okay, and another thing is that in here you specify that this cell D2 should be selected. Okay, so for that selection, which means cell D2, you change the interior color, which is the fill color, to this value. Okay, so this line is important if you want to color the specific cell D2. Okay, so what happens? Okay, if you remove this, okay, so to comment, you can put a single quote like this. Okay, so this is a comment, which means that VBA is going to ignore this line and just run this line. Okay, so what happens if you comment out this line? It says that selection, so it means that whatever they select is going to be colored with this color. Okay, not cell D2, whatever selection. Okay, so here you see that now I am selecting this cell. Okay, so if I run this macro, you see that this cell is colored. Okay, you can select more than one cell. Okay, if I select this range of cells, then if I run this macro, okay, so now you see that this range of cells is colored in yellow. Okay, so now the lesson here is that you can select the cell first. So by this, if you put this line, means that you already want to color this cell D2. Okay, otherwise this is going to color whatever selection they have now. Okay, Right, so let me remove the color in here. Okay, so actually I want to do three parts. Okay, so here I want to change the font color of D2 to red. Okay, so for the second part, all right, for the second part, again you can use the macro recorder. Okay, so here pick the macro recorder at the bottom. Okay, click this macro recorder, or you can also click this one and record macro again. Okay, so now give a name. Okay, I'm going to name it example 11 underscore 1 underscore 1 part B now. Okay, and make sure you store the marker in this workbook. Okay, now you click OK. So here I have to change the font of D2 to red. So you have to select this cell D2 first. Okay, and then change the font color to red. Okay, change it to red. And then now you stop the macro recording. Okay, stop it. All right. Now you go to the BD editor. You see there's a second macro recorded in here. Okay. So like the first one, you have to select cell D2 first. Okay, which I did just now. I click on this cell, and then what I do is with a selection.font. Okay. So now you see that the color is changed to this value. Okay. And you might feel strange why the value is like this. Okay. Don't worry about this, because in the next workbook, you'll see there are many options that you can specify the color. Okay? Not just by this putting this value, because you might think that, oh, how do I know that red is equal to this value? Okay, there are other ways for you to specify the color. Okay, so here, okay, you have to type something on the cell to see if the font color is red. Okay, so now I see that the font color is red. All right, and like I said earlier, this cannot be undone. Okay, if you run the macro. But just now, I did not run the macro. Okay, I use this to change the font color. Okay, so if I undo this, now you see the undo again. Okay, undo again. So now if I type something, it's not in red. Okay, but now if I run the macro, okay, if I run the macro, now it is in red, and then this cannot be undone. Okay, so if I do this, it is going to go to the other page that I had the last action. Okay, the last action that I did is deleting this. All right, so this is the solution for the second part. Okay, and the third part. Okay, so this one I think you can try do by own. Insert a thin blue border to cell D2. Okay, again you use the macro recorder. Okay, give a name, example 11 1 3 1111 part C. Okay, so select cell D2. All right, insert a blue thin border. Okay, so here insert border, then you have to go to format cell. Okay, border, you can select the color first. Okay, blue, and select a thin one. Okay, as the outline. Okay, so now I selected the border. Okay, right, now you can stop the recording. Okay, so see here the blue thin border is inserted. Okay, and here you see a bunch of code is generated. Okay, all right. Again, don't worry about this, because this part is actually quite repetitive. Okay, you see that border, this means the left border, this means the top border, and then you have the bottom border and the right border. Okay, so you see that the internal part, they are all the same. Okay, okay, specifying the type of the line. Okay, and then the color. Okay, and this one I don't really even know what it is. Okay, and then this is the weight of the border. So you can try delete this. Okay, I think it's not needed, right? This. Okay, now you can remove everything. Okay, I'm going to clear everything. Okay, and now I'm going to try each of these macro. Okay, so if I want to try the third one, okay, you just select that macro. Make sure your mouse is in the this one, the sub, for example 11.1.1 part C. Okay, then you run it. Okay, run it. So now I have a blue theme model here. Okay, and then the second part. Okay, you can run it. Now the font color is red already. Okay, you have to type something. Now this is red. And then the first part. Okay, you can use the shortcut F5. Okay, hit F5 on your keyboard. Now the cell is colored in yellow. Okay, and of course you can put everything together if you want to. Okay, so if you put everything together, then you don't have to repeat this. This one you have to do only once, and then you can just copy this to here. Okay, and then copy this or this at the bottom here. Okay, and then in here we have to use run this code one by one. Okay, so like I said, if you want to put another okay another macro that does everything, so I can just put sub. Okay, do all like this. All right, sub do all. Now you can just copy this, okay, copy this, and copy this. This part is not needed anymore. Okay, because we already selected this cell D2. Now I can copy this. Okay. All right. So now you try clear everything first. Clear this. Okay. You can select a different cell first because here in your code it says that D2 should be selected first and then do all this. Okay. So now I can run this. So all three things will happen at once. Okay. Which is highlight the cell in yellow. Okay. And then change the font to red and then put a thin blue border. Okay. Now here I say that make sure that the macro that you created runs in this worksheet only. Okay. Well, in here I did not specify okay on which worksheet and which workbook. Okay. So if you go back to here, I have two types of coding style. Okay. So I'm using the simplified code. Okay, because Excel is assuming that I want to run this macro on the active workbook and the active worksheet. Okay. So if you click on open a new workbook, okay, open a new workbook, and then you run the macro. Okay. So now I'm opening a new workbook, means that this workbook is active. Okay, and then I select, for example, I select sheet 2, means that this worksheet is active. Okay, so if you run this macro, you can still run this macro on this workbook, even though this macro is recorded in this workbook. Okay, not in this workbook. All right. So here, okay, you can see that the font color is still red. Okay. I can run this macro because this workbook is open. Okay, so you can try close this workbook, then you'll find that this part is gone already. Okay, which means that you cannot run this macro anymore because the workbook that contains the macro, which is this one, is closed. Okay, if you close it. Okay, so now the question is, if I want this macro only to run in this workbook only. Okay, so what you can do is you can add these lines. Okay, application dot workbooks. In here you put the workbook name, and then the worksheet you put the worksheet name. Okay, so here you can specify that the macro for this example only run on this worksheet, not on any other worksheet. Okay, so here you can add this. Okay, so here application Okay, dot workbooks. Okay, so here you have to put the name of the workbook. All right, so I think the name is quite long, so I'm going to just copy it. Okay, so this is the name of the workbook. Dot XLSM. Okay. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you have macro, you must save the file in the XLSM format. Okay. Because this file I gave you already, it is in this format already. Okay. If you created a blank workbook like this, and then you create a macro, then make sure that you save the file in this format. Otherwise, the macro that you created will be gone. Okay. And then you have to select the worksheet. Worksheets. Okay. And then again, you put the name of the worksheet. So here the name of the worksheet is example 11.1.1. Okay, example 11.1.1 like this. Let me see if I can enlarge the font here. Okay, so you can, is it clear forever? Or you need me to make it larger? I added this line. Okay, so I select the workbook first, and then this is the workbook name, and then the worksheet, and then this is the worksheet name. Okay, so here, okay, let me clear this first. If I clear this first. Now, if I go to a different workbook or a different worksheet, okay, so if I run this macro, okay, there's an error. Let me see. Books. Okay. Worksheets. Okay, probably the code is not like this because I don't remember much. Workbooks, no worksheets. Here I think you need to put the sheet name. Worksheets. One thing about VBA is that whenever there's an error, okay, you get some message like this, which is not really helpful, okay, because you don't really know what is the problem, okay. So here you have to debug this by yourself, all right. Worksheets. Usually things like this happen because one of these things they don't really exist, okay. So maybe Excel cannot find this workbook, or Excel cannot find this worksheet, okay. Okay, this time it runs already. Okay, it runs already. Sorry, because just now I'm selecting a different workbook. Okay, I'm selecting this workbook. So if I try run this, okay, I get this error. So you have to select this workbook first. Okay, select this workbook first, and then you type in this code. Okay. So if without that, okay, let me comment on this code. Without that, okay, if you simply do this, okay, so this macro is going to be run on any other worksheet also if you select that worksheet. Okay? So now if I select a different worksheet, still this workbook, okay, so if I run this, So now you see that now this cell is colored, okay, which I don't want. Okay, I want that macro to be run on this worksheet only. Okay, so now you have to clear this. All right. Okay, so this is how you can make sure that the macro that you created runs in a specific workbook and a specific worksheet. Okay. Now the last thing is I want to create a button to run the macro. Okay. So here, of course, it's not really that convenient if you have to open up your VBA editor, okay, and run the macro from the editor. Okay, it'll be easier if you have a button to run the macro. Okay, so to create the button, you go to the developer tab at the top here. Okay, in here you can select the insert. Okay, we have two types of controls: form controls and ActiveX controls. Okay, the difference between these two is that the first one is for mainly for Windows users. Okay, the form control. Okay, here the first one, the form control. Okay, the form control here. This is for Windows user. Okay, and then sorry, both of them are for Windows users. Okay, but this one is specific for Windows only. Okay, so if you have a different operating system, this won't work. All right, but for most of the time we're going to use the form control here. Okay, form control here. So from here you can select the button. Okay, so the button is the first one here. Button. Okay, click that, and then you can draw the button anywhere in the worksheet. Okay, so I'll just draw the button here. Okay, so here you can give a name to the button. Okay, so I'm going to name it as do all. Okay, of course you can insert one button each for ABC. Okay, but I'm going to insert only one button to do all ABC. All right, so here this is the list of the macro that you have now. Okay, and then oh sorry, you have to select from here. Sorry, don't type this. Okay, you select from here. Okay, so I want to associate that button. Okay, that button to this macro. Okay, so that later when I click on the button, this macro will be run. Okay, and then click OK. Now you just rename the button. Okay, double click. You can rename it. Type the new text. Okay, do all A, then B, and also C. Okay, you can resize the button. All right. Okay, so now this do all button is going to run this macro, the one that we have here, do all. Okay, which do three things. Okay, fill the cell in yellow, and then change the font to red, and insert thin blue border. Okay, so now let me clear this first. Okay, so if you click this, now all three things happen at once. Okay, by this button, and usually this is what you want to do. Okay, put the button instead of putting a shortcut, or instead of going to here and you have to run the macro from the editor all the time. Okay. Of course, if you have the editor open, probably you'll be running the macro all the time. Okay, but usually after you're done with the code, okay, you should put the button like this. Okay, especially when you are creating a macro for others. Okay? So others, they might don't know anything about VBA. Okay, so you don't expect them to go to here and run the code. Okay? So you always create a button so that it is obvious that they have to click on the button, okay, to complete these actions. All right, so that's for the first example. Okay, so let me summarize. In here, we created the macro that only runs in this workbook only. Okay, and with that, you have to put this, okay, this workbook, the name of the workbook, and the name of the worksheet. Okay, this workbook and this worksheet. So in here, you can also put it in the macro. Okay, so you can copy this, copy this. Okay, copy all this. Right, go down here for the duo macron. Okay, put this. Okay, and just now we use the macro recorder to record the macro. Okay, so as usual, you put the name of the macro, and I discourage you to put the shortcut key. Okay, unless this is something that you're going to use in all the workbooks. Okay, and then you store the macro in this workbook. Okay, so after that, you just perform the action that you want to do, and then stop the recording. Okay, and now in the VB editor here, okay, you can edit the code. Okay, which you think that is not important. Okay, so here for this one, probably this line is not important. Okay, the one that you only need is this line. Okay, so you can edit the code and keep this part only. Okay, selection dot font dot color equal to this. Look at it here. Okay, and now to make sure that the macro that you run this worksheet only. Okay, so it's better that you put this line. Okay, specify the workbook and the worksheet. Okay, and lastly, create a button. Okay, for that one, you go to the developer tab. Okay, under insert here, you select the form control that you want. Okay, so the only one that we're going to need is the button. Okay? There are other form controls, but I think we are not going to need them. Okay? All right, so that's for the first example. Okay, so now let's move on to the second one. Now I want to create the macro that sets the cell style to cell D2 as input. Okay, cell style right here, this one. Okay, we have many types of cell styles, and I want input. And then format the cell as that in this form, MDD, MMM, and YYY. Okay, and then insert a comment that says format as that, and then all this text. Okay, so again, you can use the macro recorder because you don't really know what code that you should write. Okay, so all right, start the macro recorder. Okay, so here I'm going to name it as example. Okay, 11 underscore 1 underscore 2. All right, and store the macro in this workbook. Okay, it's okay. So now I want to set the cell style D2 as input. Okay, so go to here, select D2, and now you change the cell style to input. Okay, you can go to the macro recorder. Now a new macro is created. Okay, so the action that I did just now is just these two lines. Okay, select the cell and then change the style to input. Okay, now the next thing. Okay, format the cell as dates in this format. Okay, so here you go to format cells. All right, here you select number. Okay, then you select dates. Okay, so here I think we have to select customer because this format is not in the list here. Okay, custom, and then I'm going to put DD and YY. Okay, just follow the format here. Okay, finally insert comment. Okay, right click. So here I think we just insert not. Okay, and then you say formatted as dates. Okay, DD YY. Okay, so I think we are done. Just stop the recording. Okay, I think you have to click somewhere out here first. Okay, we're going to click this to stop the recording. Okay, now you can go back to the VB editor. So these are the bunch of code created by the macro recorder. Okay, we can go through line by line. So select the cell first, cell D2, and change the style to input. Okay, this one don't have okay, because just now I click this work. Okay, so this line I can delete, and I think this line you can delete also. Okay, so this is the part that I changed the format, cell format to DD and MMM YYY. Okay, and then this is the part that I had the comment. And one thing about VBA is that comments and not, they are the same thing. Okay, so here, even though that the one that I did here, I insert not instead of comment. Okay, because in here when you right click, there are two options, either not or comment. But for VBE, okay, everything is comment, and a comment is actually referring to the not here. Okay, so this can be quite confusing. Okay, because in here it says not, but in here it says comment, because VBA is a very old language. Okay, comment. Okay, this comment, the one that I have here, this is the new feature in Excel. Okay, so here the one that we did here, insert not, okay, used to be called as a comment. Okay, so that's why you see insert comment here. Okay, so now it adds a comment. Okay, set the visibility to false. Okay, and then add this text. Right, so this is the text that I added in the comment box. And then finally I select the cell. Okay, and again this line is not really needed. Okay, so here okay, let me delete this first. Delete the comment first. Okay, so now the comment is not visible unless I hover over the cell. Okay, so this is what this part do. Okay, so later, all right, let me clear everything first to make sure that the macro runs. Okay, let me clear everything first. Okay, so now it's clear. Okay, now you can try run the macro, or you can put the button first. Okay, put the button first, insert the button. Okay, just put the button anyway. So here the name of the macro is example 11.1.2. Okay, okay, all right, now you name the button. Okay, so here you just say do all parts A, B, and C. Okay, I want to do all part B, A, B, and C. So now click on the button. So everything is done. Okay, the cell style is changed to input. Okay, you can verify that. Go to home here. You see that input is selected here. Okay, now format the cell is that. Okay, so if you type some number here, if you type some data in different format like this, it will be formatted as like this: DD and then a space and then the month spelled in full and then the year. Okay, so like this, exactly this format. And then there's a comment inserted. Okay, that says formatted as that. Okay, like this. So if you want to keep the this not open all the time, you just change this to true. Okay, change it to true. All right, so let me clear this first. Clear it first. Okay, so now you run the macro. Okay, so now you see that this is always open, because just now by default the macro recorder generated the code, it says false. Okay, so if you want to hide the comment, you can also hide it from here, because okay, show hide, then click this again. Now it's hidden. Okay, all right, so if you want to make sure the macro they created runs in this worksheet only, so you can just copy this from the previous one. Okay, so just copy this right here, change the worksheet name dot. Okay, so select this workbook and then change the worksheet name to this. Okay, so now this macro is going to run on this worksheet only, not on the worksheet. Okay, so if you go to a different worksheet, all right, so if I delete this, if you go to a different worksheet, okay, and then run this, you get an error again. Worksheets. You have to get the worksheet to be selected first. Yeah, okay. You have to select the worksheet first. Otherwise, you're going to get the error. Okay. So now everything is all the actions they are done on that worksheet only. Okay. And this is another advantage of putting the button here. Okay. Because if you want to run the macro, of course you have to go to the worksheet first. Okay. I want to run that macro, do all macro. Then I have to go to this worksheet to click this. Okay. So if you put your code in here and then expect someone to run from the VB editor, okay, they might select the wrong worksheet and try to run it, okay, and they are going to get this error, okay, and if you put the button, they have to go to that worksheet, okay. So once they go to that worksheet, then you don't have to worry about the error, okay. In here, I get the error, okay, I get the error because now you have the uh, not okay inserted already, okay. So now you see in here, if you click this again, you get this error because you have the not inserted already, okay. So if I delete the not, okay, if I click this again, then there's no error, okay, because in Excel you cannot insert the same note twice, okay. So if you have inserted a note here, new note, so you cannot insert a new note again, okay. So that's why you get this error, okay. And again, the error message in VB is not really that useful, okay, because in here you don't really know what is the error, okay. Every time you run, you see this kind of message shows up, runtime error 1004, okay, and in this message, there can be a lot of possibilities, okay, and through your experience, okay, you can only know what type of error, okay. So in here, the error is that I get this error, okay, I get this error because the node already exists, okay. Now let me try this again. If I delete this, okay, then I go to a different worksheet. See, I can run this. Yeah, I still can run this. Okay, so you have to go to that worksheet first before you can run it. Okay. All right. The next example. Okay, example 11.1.3. Create a macro that formats the cell J2 to K7. Okay, J2 to K7 is a differential cells. Okay. This one is to change the format to custom format. Okay. So here it will be helpful is we created the custom format first. Okay. So posting numbers are displayed in 3 digits after decimal. Okay. Hashtag, right? 3 digits. So put 3 hashtag then 0. Okay. And then I have 3 digits after decimal. So 000. Okay. The color is in blue. So here this is blue. At least. Okay. So the first one is positive, and then semicolon. Now negative one. So it is in red. Red. Okay. And that part is the same. 0.000. Thousand separator, I forgot to put that. Uh, this one put comma here. Okay. Comma here, thousand separator. And zeros and text are hidden, so put semicolon twice. Okay. So this is the format that we should apply. Okay, I'm going to copy this. All right. Okay. So this is the format that you should apply to this differential cell from J2 to K7. Okay. So now again, we use the macro encoder, record that. Okay. So here I'm going to name it as a example 11 1 3. Okay. Okay. Now select the cells J2 to K7 and right click format cells. Okay. So now go to custom formats and paste in the one that you this one. Okay, paste it in. Okay. So here the format is for posting number change to blue. Okay. 1000 separator, 3 digits after decimal. Okay. Negative number. Okay, everything is set except that the text color is red. Okay, height zeros and text. All right, now you click OK. Then you stop the macro recording. Okay, so in here, all right. So this is the code generated by the macro recorder. Okay, select the range of cells, and then you change the number format. Okay, to this whatever they put here. Okay, so now okay. So if you put a number here, so it is going to be positive is going to be in blue, okay, negative will be in red, 0 will be hidden, okay, text also will be hidden. All right, okay, now you try clear this first, okay, because I want to make sure that my macro is running correctly. Okay, click first, click the button. Okay, so go to the global tab, insert, select button. Okay, go to the button. Okay, you select the macro. The macro name is example 11.1.3. Okay, so here it goes format. Okay, J2 to K7. Okay, so maybe I just highlight this, put a border so that you can see which part is okay, this part is formatted. If I click this, okay, so now it's not formatted yet. Okay, 0 is still shows up. Okay, positive is still black, not in blue yet. Okay, negative is still in black. All right. So now if you click this, then this format will be applied in here. Okay, click. Now you see the magic happens. Okay. All right, so this is the number format. Of course, you can edit this easily. If you want 0 to show up as a 0, just put 0 here. Okay, 0 like this. In this, because here you have this and this again, I think this is not going to work. Let me try. Yeah, not going to work. For that, I think you have to put this again. Okay, this again. All right, because in here previously, if you do it like this, VBA thinks that you start here and stop here, you know. Okay, but you don't want to stop here, you want to stop here. Okay, so you have to put another one here and another one here. Okay, I think this one should work. Yeah, should work. Okay, you click first. Okay, like this. All right, so now you put the values. Okay, so it works. And another thing is that you can actually use this one. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over here. So sometimes you might want to play around, okay, but you don't want to go to the editor here to change this. Okay, so you can make VBA, okay, use the value in this cell to do the formatting. Okay, and to achieve that, okay, here I think you put instead of this, okay, I'm going to comment on this. So selection the number format, okay, is equal to range. Okay, you select the cell. Now I'm putting all the formatting, okay, in J1 dot value. This, okay. So this macro is going to take the value in this cell, which is right here. Take this value as the formatting for my selection, which is J2 to K7. Okay, so let me clear this first. All right, clear this first. Clear first. Okay, so now put in some value. All right. Okay, so now you click this. Okay, so now you see the formatting applied using the one that I have here. Okay, so if you want zero to, okay, if you want to zero to show up as a, like maybe you put a emoji here. Okay, so you want to zero to show up as a smiling face. Okay, you can edit, simply edit in this cell. All right, and then you run the macro. Now you see the smiling face shows up. Okay, because the value in this cell is equal to zero right here. Okay, it's equal to zero right here. Okay, so now you can play around with this. Just edit this part. Okay, and then you click this. Now the formatting is going to be applied. Okay, in this range of cells, J2 to K7. Okay. All right. So in here, in the first workbook, the lesson is that we are using the macro editor, macro recorder to create the macro. Okay, and then we just do a bit of editing. Okay, try to understand this. Actually, this is not difficult to understand. Okay, you select the cells, and then you change the number format to whatever value in cell J1. Okay, whatever value in this cell. Okay, in the next workbook, we are going to write our own code. Okay, which is requires some coding skills. Okay, so let's go to the next workbook. Okay, so in the first worksheet here, okay, you see there's a bunch of code. Okay, all right. The first three, okay, interior dot color. This is for the fill color. Okay, the color that you fill in the cell like this, the fill color. Okay, and this is for the this part is for the font color. Okay, the font color like this one. You change the font color to red. Okay, so these two they are different. Interior color and the font color. Okay, interior color is the fill color. Font color is the color of the text. Okay, so like I said earlier, you have many ways to specify what color it is. Either you use RGB, okay, or you can use the constants. Okay, this is the BBA constant, BB red, okay, or you can use the color index. So now the difference is that if you use the constant BB red, okay, so these are the options they have. All right. Okay, so BB red is for red, but in here you have a limited of options. Okay, only how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 only. Okay, if you use these constants, you have this add option only. Okay, so if this is not enough, you can use the color index. Okay, so the color is on the left here. Okay, the value is on the right. Okay, so color index 1, the color is black. This one black. Okay, if you put color index equal to 2, then the color is white. If you put color index equal to 3, then the color is red. Okay, so this is using the color index. 0, I think, is no color. Okay, and then of course you can use the RGB. Okay, so RGB, I think you're already familiar with that. Okay, RGB, the first is the intensity of the red. The second value is the intensity of green, and the third one is the intensity of blue. Okay, the higher the intensity, the brighter the color is. Okay, so if you put 000, you're going to get black. Okay, if you put 255, 255, 255, okay, 255 is the maximum. And if you put all value equal to 255, then you're going to get white. Okay, with RGB you can create more colors. Okay, because in here the constant you have only add options, and then for the color index you have 56 options. And now this part is to change the font to bold. Okay, you set font dot bold equal to true, and then this is for italic, underline, strike through. Okay, font size, font name. I think this one I'm not sure. This one maybe should be in uppercase. Okay, maybe I type it wrong. And then this is the font color, and then this is the style. Style we seen right here in the previous example. Okay, we set the style to input like this. Okay. All right. So this is for the cell formatting. Okay. And then for borders. Okay. So here you see some example, right? Cell A1 dot borders. So this is referring to the top border. Okay. Top border, and then the style is XL continuous. So XL continuous is this style. This one is referring to here, okay, because I cannot put the line in the middle here. Okay, continuous is a solid line. XL dot is a dotted line like this. Okay, dash is a dash line like this. Double is a double line like this. Okay, and then you have a dash dot. Okay, dash dot. And what else? We have a dash dash dot, and then XL slant dash dot. Okay, and then in here, okay, so this is for the top border, and then this is for the bottom border, left border, right border. Okay, and then here this is a no line. Okay, XL non for no line, right? And then this is to set the font color. Okay, to I think this is to set the font color to red. Okay, and then this is to set the weight, which is the thickness of the line. Okay, so the constant that you can use is this one. Okay, thin line for this one, and then the medium line or the thick line. Okay, so here, okay, let's say you want to try out, open the VBA editor. Okay, now you don't need to put to use the macro editor. Okay, you can try code this by yourself. Okay, so for that you have to go to the workbook first. Okay, I think this is a word. Correct, because I opened a few workbook here. I think this is a word. Okay, so here you right click, okay, and then insert a new module here. Okay, right now there's no module. Okay, so the previous one we have the module already. This one, introduction to macros, because we use the macro editor to create the macro. Okay, so the module is inserted to you automatically. Right, so for this one you insert the module. Okay, and now you can actually put the code in different modules. Okay, so for that one you can rename the module right here. Okay, so here let's say I just name it as a change, okay, font like this. Okay, so now I rename the module change font like this, change font. Okay, so now you can type sub, okay, give a name. So for example, I want to here I want to change the font, change, okay, fill to red like this. Okay, so I want to use this macro to change the fill color to red. Okay, so for fiber selection, okay, dot interior, okay, dot color equal to RGB 25500. Okay, so whatever selection that I make, set the interior color, okay, which is the fill color, to this value, and this is red. All right, so now let's move this aside. Okay, so you can select this cell. Okay, you can select this cell in any of the worksheet. Okay, and run this. So here, run this. Now it is in red already. Okay, or you can select more than one cell and then run this. Okay, now it's red already. Okay, and of course you can undo this. Right, cannot be undone. Okay, So here you have to remove the coloring yourself, right? Move it yourself. Okay, you can try a bunch of other options like change the font to bold, okay, change the font to underline, okay, change the font color, change the style, okay, and also for the border, okay. This one I leave it for you to try in the exercise center, okay. All right, so I think the time is up now, okay. So all this example we have to do it on Tuesday, okay. Sorry, on yeah, Tuesday, okay. So Tuesday we still have a class, okay, but we start at 10, okay, 10 a.m. All right, so I'm going to take the attendance now. Okay, I think I lost my connection just now. Okay, you can record your attendance now. And don't forget, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Can you record or not? Because I don't see the numbers changing. Cannot. Yeah, let me cross this again. Uh, no, try again. Speaking up. Oh, cannot see the screen. Sorry. Okay, you can leave after you sign in. If you cannot sign in, then you just type your name in the chat box.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.